In June, actually June of 1972, with a friend of mine who was a classmate of mine who had a job interview here. And I had graduated on May the 30th of 1972. And I guess it was about June the 15th, he called me and says, "I've got a job interview and I want you to ride with me." And I said, "Where?" He said, "To Tullahoma, Tennessee." I said, "Tullahoma, Tennessee? Where in the world is that?" He said, "It's up in the mountains somewhere." And so a few days later, we headed on our way up here, on our journey up here. And as we was coming up, we came up Highway 64 through Fayetteville up through that way. And I can remember as we was coming up here, my head felt like it was going to burst, as I was coming up the mountain. And that was a unique experience for me. But anyway, and finally we got here to AEDC. Now, I did not have an interview. I was just riding with him. So when I got here, I sat in the lobby over in the Eddie building, in the front lobby there. And I was sitting there reading a magazine while he was going on his interview. This was in 1972. I had an afro so thick a cat couldn't jump in. Had on bell-bottom pants, and probably was a hippie looking in that particular time. I can't imagine the people that I interviewed with what they were thinking when I came through. But anyway, and so. After my friend had gotten through with his interview, the guy came to the top of the stairs there, and he saw me sit down, and he said, "Are you here for an interview?" And I said, "No, sir, I didn't have an interview." And he said, "Do you have a degree?" I said, "Yes, I have a degree." And he said, "Would you like to come for an interview?" And I said, "No, sir, I no way I can come interview like this." Because after we graduated from school, we had to attend this class on how to prepare yourself when you go for a job interview, And I was definitely not dressed based on what we had learned in that class. So I kept declining and said, "No, I cannot go and interview." He said, "Come on, we're hiring. You can get the job." And I said, "Sir, I just can't go for an interview like this." And he said, "I'm telling you, I want you to come and interview." And I said, "Okay, all right, I'll go." And I went for an interview and went around to the places, and I just remember the expressions on the people's faces as I went through J5 project, the guys that was in J5 projects, and I went around through there and met all those people, and I didn't feel good about my interview at all. And so that was it. So I went back home, and then 2 weeks later, I received a letter that I had a job offer. And now you know the rest of the story.
It's in gratitude for you analysis folks will appreciate this. 45 years of service, plus or minus a month. Thank you for that service. This letter cites some of those accomplishments that Denise talked about, including J5, Tiger, and so on. But I consider this more like a cover of a book that we could write on the accomplishments. It's just a cover. So many great things you've done for us. So I consider it personally a great honor to claim you as my friend and colleague. Wish you the best in the months to come. And on behalf of Cynthia, thank you for your years of service here.
When Tommie first came, and he had a wild bunch, I'll tell you. In fact, I became the unofficial AEDC Port Laureate back during that period when somebody, it happened, if anybody remembers Jerry Ray, big, tall, ugly Jerry Ray. Now, the company was getting new contracts all over the place, and they got one in Florida, and Jerry Ray was going to go to Florida to head up the computer group, I think, be a big part of it anyway. And Jerry, we were trying to do something, well, we did something, a little gag gift, had a little party. Charlie Neal owned piggies, and we would always have a barbecue or something, and so Jerry Ray was getting ready to leave, and we wanted to have a little party, and Neil was catering the party from Piggies, and I was trying to think of a gag gift, and I came in, I was coming in to work at noon supporting Rockets. And George, I worked in a data reduction group, is what happened. We did all the data reduction for the Rocket sales and a lot of the test sales and everything. So anyway, I was on my way out, I got by UTSI, and it just came to me. The little gag gift that I had done didn't work out. I had taken a Jerry chewed tobacco, and anyway, I took a Coca-Cola can, tried to spray it gold, and I was going to have a gold spit can. So that didn't work out. The paint just rolled right off every time I sprayed it on there, that thick surface. Well, got out by UTSI that day on my way in to work, and it just started coming to me. Things just started cracking in my mind, and so I had to always keep a pad and a pen there, and it just came to me, says, to the biggest, ugliest thing I know, I'm glad to see your ugly self go. And the poem just took on a life of itself. And before I realized I had a poem written by the time I got to Gate 2. So, and it was scribbled so bad I couldn't read it. I was try to do that. So anyway, I'm just writing, and so anyway, got there, and I transposed it when I got to the party up there, right before the party, and so it worked out really good. So they started making me write a poem every time that somebody left or somebody retired. Even John Nelson, if you remember John Nelson, he was my manager at the time. He left and went to Mississippi, Stennis, I believe, and he came back and wanted his poem. So he had his request in, of course I had to write in the poem too, but everybody wanted the poem, so that's good, make business good for me. So anyway, but at about that time we had, I want to set this up just a little bit, it was kind of like a zoo over at CCO in the A&E building back when we worked there. It was like a big zoo. It got this crazy, and Charlie Neal was one of the big zoo people in there, big animals, and so anyway, we had a ball. We worked our butts off and did rocket firing, test engine firings, and whatever we did it and got it out and did well, but we had fun doing it. So anyway, we had pretty much been labeled a zoo, I think, by management, so we just kind of followed the suit. So I wrote one poem. It's called Escape from the A-Row Zoo. And back that time, for all of you that don't know, weren't here then, the place used to be called pretty much the A-Row because they took on the name of the contractor, and everybody, all the local people just called it A-Row, and I think Air Force got tired of that before long. They changed that pretty quick, so worked out. And but I called it official, the closing of the A-Row Zoo. This is the little poem I call official closing of the zoo, because I think you might be one of the last ones of that bunch that left under Jerry Davenport and all that wild crew. So anyway, all right, so here we go. I kind of set it up there a little bit for you. What started out as a sanctuary till some hellraiser launched a coup, and all the animals would start raving mad, so they called it the A-Row Zoo. CCO in the A&E building was the zoo's official address. A bunch of radical, unruly beasts started the whole stinking mess. When did it become less unruly than it was in all the years before? The locks were taken off the cage, and they even left open the door. But most of the animals, now too old, unlike in their younger days, when they find the latch open, they go crazy and all run away. When the last zookeeper finally left, he barely got out with his life. He hated to leave, but finally went home to be with his dog and his wife, in that order. He loved that dog. The company sent a new zookeeper, but he really didn't know what to do. The animals would do their business all under his desk and all over his shoes. This attitude left him unhappy, with his new empire going to pot. Then the contract split. New companies came and picked over the entire lot. They fervently prayed as their years grew short for the day they could all go home. But by then, most of their get up and go had quietly gotten up and gone. We all contemplate all through life that this day will finally come. And though our feet are charged up and ready, arthritis won't let us run. But we cherish the memories that we take as we walk away alone, having spent more time with people, with folks at work than with family and friends at home. Memories of George Duncan, Slick Welch, and Neil, and Mark, and Robert, of the wild things they did. Tony and Cecil and Woody and McNeese, Carl and McAdoo, they were all Jerry's kids. George had a trick he was famous for that he did without saying a word. He could somehow make his middle finger think it was some kind of a talking bird. If you think in retirement you lose a boss and now you'll do things your way, as soon as you get home you'll soon be told not every day is a honeydew day. I wake up every day to live, and life's no doubt my greatest test. I find blessings and favor await me when I trust God and give life my best. Boredom is a cardinal sin, but there's always something needed to do to make this world a better place. For our lives will look to you. We create a lifetime of memories at work, memories we will never forget. Don't cry when you say that last goodbye. You'll get past the gate and you'll be over it. If you still have a dream or desire, don't leave this world with regrets. Hopes and dreams are what keep us alive. If you have a dream, follow it. So as we part, count your blessings. Life still has much in store for you. Keep believing the best is yet to come. I'm a witness. Dreams do come true. Just congratulations on your retirement. Here's one more little tidbit that I got to get plugged into this. A little more tidbit on the greatest little inspirational book in the world. I wrote it. Can't get plugged in on that one. Now, this is one of the poems that is the Book of Inspirational Poetry. This book is being used right here at UTSI in this STEM program. So it's a great little book of inspirational poetry, just encouragement for young people, old people, people in between, everything. But that's kind of one of the reasons when I retired. I've been retired for 17 years now. And when I retired, there is life after retirement, by the way. There is life after Aero. So anyway, when I retired, I retired to write. I was going to write my book and retired early, and I was going to take care of some people that had been a blessing in my life. And I did. My mother, she got sick long after that. And my fiance, she had real issues, and so they both have passed on since then. But it's just the springboard for my life. And I've just taken off after that. An interview local know what I'm doing, so I'm into a lot of things, into more now than I've ever been. So, in fact, I'm busier than I've ever been in my life. But I did write the book, thank the Lord. I got another one working, but it's called Living on Purpose, The Portrait of Life. It's on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, Christian Broadcast Network, and my publisher is a division of Thomas Nelson Bible Publishers. So it's been a great little book. I ain't made $30 million yet, but anyway, I'm working on it. But this is one of the poems that's in the book, and I want to get this to y'all. So it says, tomorrow depends on you. We're brought into a dying world, not knowing what's in store. A bundle of pure innocence filled with love and joy. The roads we choose to walk and the choices that we make ultimately define us, thus determining our fate. But if we invest in life, giving all we have to give, we'll reap rewards we cannot count every day we live. You'll know you're a success when the good works that you do convert to godly treasures stored in heaven just for you. And as the precious years decline and life's demands grow few, don't think the fight is over. There's still much work to do. Though this chapter of your life comes to a close today, the life that you are living speaks much more than words can say. And though you've made your mark on life, by no means are you through. Rest, but keep on trudging. Tomorrow depends on you. And from the Bible verse that goes with this, it says, from everyone who has been given much, much will be demanded. And from the one who has been entrusted with much, much more will be asked.
All right. Okay, all right, thank you.
4 seconds, I got to advise and assist, but I just want to say something I really appreciate about Tommie is he was always a calming influence in a sea of chaos, and it just, the one thing I really want to speak to, I've got a tradition of making little gag gifts, and here in the past year and a half, this political season, it's been easy pickings. I don't have some interesting Trump mocking gag gifts, but Tommie and I think we're in the silent minority where we were, where it's like, you got Steve Bannon over here, and I got Rich Priebus over here. Everybody's sitting there just going on how great Trump is and this and that. I'm surprised, Tommie, you didn't take a few of them out. But anyway, I really appreciate all the work you did. And I say I always appreciated the fact that you were always very easy to work with, and it just makes people like you a great pleasure to come to AEDC to work.
Thank you.
So with that, I'm going to go help the Air Force.
I'm going to be calling you about my tiger box.
Yeah, we can count that guy. BR 549.
That's a good one, Tommy. You fell right to BR 549.
So, 45 years, I mean, you've been here since I was -7. And I know how much pleasure we've had putting Tiger together for us, and what a great thing it's been. And so I know as you as maybe you begin to relax and you begin to reminisce and you think, okay, maybe I want to come back out there and help them again. Well, I bought this for you. It's assorted puzzles, and in this puzzle is a tiger. So to really simulate the work environment for you, I would have you to open all of the bags, pour them all out in a big bowl, and then try and assemble it.
That'll keep me busy.
I think you'll whatever urges that you may have to want to return may abate. So I think I'm doing you a great favor.
Thank you.
Anybody else have anything?
I got a couple of recollections, if you got a minute, Tommy.
Yes.
I got to have some notes here, because my memory is like what it used to be. My name's Bill Watts, and I came to AEDC in 1977, so Tommy probably still thinks of me as a new hire. I first worked with him in support of T5, a test cell that worked on a cruise missile, in working the CRT program that Denise referred to earlier. T5 is long since extinct, and so is the CRT program. It was kind of a granddaddy, what you new guys think of as the DCU program. Okay, so ran on a computer up on the 4th floor, which is still there, in the domain of an old guy named Clarence Nichols from and the program, or the computer, was an SEL 810, had about the same amount of memory as my watch fob. He had it today. We got the job done with it. We didn't program it with a keyboard or with a mouse. We didn't even program it with paper cards on a keyboard. It was programmed with black paper tape with holes on it. So that was my first recollection of working with Tom. But as primitive as it was, it got the job done, and it supported turbine tests in a lot of cells for a lot of years. It was a difficult operation, but it was successful. One thing I remember about it was, from time to time, when you have to make a change to the CRT program, correct something, or fix something, while the engine was running, the process was called bumping the scopes. You load that change, and then you tell everybody, hey, we're going to bump the scopes. Little bitty black and white TV screens with 40 parameters flashing on near real time. And when they hit the button and bumped that scope, there was a period of about 3 seconds, seemed like about 3 years, where you're going to find out whether that thing, when it froze, came back. And if it didn't come back, then you were the proud owner of some airtime. So those were some tough days. In hindsight, I've often thought as a new engineer, or the other new engineers, that was a difficult job to assign us because it was pretty critical and pretty important. But we got it done, and it worked out pretty good, largely because of Tommie's skill, particularly because of his patience working with folks like me and others. So much obliged for that, Tommie. but there wasn't one occasion when you certainly got me out of the tight spot. But having said that, another story or two from a long time ago. I got a visual aid here. So we got to go back in history a long, long way here. And for those of you under 60, if there are a few, that there was a time before there were personal computers, before email and things like that. That was the era of paper. Written communication occurred on paper. Okay? That's how we did it. They had copy machines, so you could make a copy of a piece of paper and send it to your friends and co-workers. But that's how we lived back in those days before paper. Another thing back then, the company, AERO as it used to be referred to, every year adjusted the salary schedule. So presumably, your salary would go up a little bit every year. And every year, that salary schedule, which was a row and column of, here was your grade level in the company, and here were the salary levels that you might expect. And somehow or another, every year, around raise time, that kind of document would get out ahead of time, and people would spend a lot of time looking at it and studying and get upset. Given those circumstances, as I continue this story, I want to, in full disclosure, advise that I'm not going to mention any names here because the statute of limitations may not have expired. And I don't want anybody to get in trouble with me. The fact that I'm telling it at Tommie's retirement is strictly coincidental. So anyhow, one year this certain clever individual thought it'd be a pretty good prank to make up a fictitious salary schedule like this, and maybe change a line or two to really jack up his co-worker when he's a little targeted prank. Pretty good plan. So this individual did that. And he planted that document in an area by a copy machine so that it would appear that someone had inadvertently left a clandestine copy where he forgot about it. And so the intent was that that would be forwarded to his co-worker whom he would get a big rise out of. And that worked. Unfortunately, it was also forwarded and propagated to pretty much every place on base. Like a little second. So this phenomenon didn't get a name until years later when we referred to it as going viral.
About 10 years.
So it probably goes without saying that our company management at that time was a little bit upset, and they lost probably one of the most intensive man-hunts. No avail. No one was ever convicted or even accused. But I'm pretty sure if there are any old-time AERO managers still around, they wake up in the middle of the night and wonder if he did. But anyway, the reason I thought of this, Steve Arnold said he wasn't going to make any Trump comments, but I'll roll one in here too. And I turned on the TV, and every time I do, I see a new article about anonymous sources leaking fake news, and I'm thinking, I'm proud to know the guy who invented it. AEDC engine test, it's kind of a crucial business. Everything gets up and gets going. There's a lot of money right on everything running right. You don't want to have to stop the test. You want to keep going. In order to do that, you need the right people here at the right time. And that's not always between 7:30 and 4 on Monday through Friday. Sometimes it's after hours. So programmers, for some reason, seem to be a common target of that because they're a critical element of the test process, and not necessarily here 24/7. So I think quite frequently the victims will get called in on base. People get called in from home, they get called in from out of bed in the middle of the night. There's even been people that got called in from vacation. Come in to support some of the functioning engines. But there's one incident I remember that was a little particularly unusual, and that occurred, I guess maybe 20 or 30 years ago. It's been a while. We were running, I can't even remember which cell now, Tommy, but I know we had an agent, an urgent data problem that was holding up the show. We needed Tommy pretty bad. Well, we knew where he was. He's over here at the rec area at a softball game, so I drew the short straw to go get him. This was before cell phones, so you couldn't call him, there's no phone. So what I did, I found him and I got him. And I guess he wasn't just at the ball game, so he probably has the distinction of the only guy ever being called into work from center field. One more quick one. In the old days, those of us who were data engineers were kind of the in-between guys between the programmers and the project managers who were counting money and beans, right? So anytime the programmers needed a charge number to charge a time to, they talked to us and we talked to the project engineer, and that process would get underway. Or whenever the project manager would want to know why the charges were racking up, he'd call us and ask the programmers what they were doing. So as I was thinking that, it occurred to me lately, Tommy, I'm sure you've got a lot of activities planned for your free time in retirement, but I was thinking you might want to consider one more, and that is rodeo. Because if you can stay on a promo roll, like you can stay on a charge number.
Tommy, when he got here in his early 70s, he wanted to play softball. And a lot of the guys were older, and he couldn't get enough people to play softball. So in the 80s, we got some people hired, some younger guys, and we created a softball team. Tommy played, and we had some good times. Well, skip across a few years. Decades. And Jay decides, let's get us another softball team. So we got a bunch of us out there, and we talked Tommy into playing. He said, I'll be 60 years old and I can go out there and play softball. And of course, I told all these stories about how fast Tommy was. He could play outfield even though Raymond don't think so. And so we got Tommy out there one night. And I think you had gone out there early, right? And kind of loosened up and running around. Sandy was there early that night. And so here we go. We said, man, we're Coach Potter. I said, we're going to get to see Tommy. Here you go. We're going to see something fast. Well, I don't know if it was the first batter or the second batter. But somebody hit one in the outfield. And Tommy turned to go get it. And the next thing we know, he just fell over. And it was like this. And Sammy goes, oh, Lord. And Tommy had blown out both of his hamstrings. And so that was we hear these athletes that come back to, come back from retirement. That was the end of Tommy's. He didn't know if he'd get shot or what. Anyway, discussion, everybody'd like to know that.
A gift that I'll treasure for the rest of my life. One of the things that I have learned over the past 45 years is that my life has truly been providentially guided.
Amen.
One of the things that I talked to some of you about is that I would like to one day, if I live long enough, to write a book on some of the experiences of my life. And there is no doubt, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that God has truly guided my life step by step. And all the people and the people that I have met throughout my life, I'm truly been blessed. Back in 1972, before I came here, I was headed to Jackson, Mississippi for a job interview. It was on a Sunday evening. I was riding with a friend in a car, and we were getting ready to get on the Natchez Trace to go to Jackson, Mississippi. A lady driving a pickup truck, drunk as a skunk, ran into the back of our car and totaled our car all to pieces. So it canceled my trip that I was going to Jackson, Mississippi. None of us was injured in the vehicle, but it canceled that trip that I was going to Jackson, Mississippi. 5 days later, I received a phone call from my friend who wanted me to come to Tullahoma, Tennessee with him for a job interview. And so the rest of it is history. But it's truly been quite an experience of all the people that I have worked with. And I have met a lot of people. I have a lot of friends. One of the things I was going to do, and I was going to introduce my family. I had introduced them to some of you out there, and I said I was going to do it one time so I could introduce all of them. So I'm going to introduce my family real quick. This is my wife, Peggy. Been with me for 43 years. This is my daughter, Tamika. Raise your hand there. That's my son, Tommie Heard. This is my daughter-in-law, Rosanna. These are my 4 grandkids. Caleb Heard, raise your hand. This is Amari. That's Tyron. That's Aiken. For those of you that might remember, when Caleb was born, Caleb is truly is one that is special to us. Caleb came into the world weighing a total of 19 ounces. 19 ounces. He was in Vanderbilt Hospital and St. Thomas Hospital for over 5 months. He had open heart surgery at, was it 3 weeks? 3 weeks? I believe he was 3 weeks old. He had open heart surgery. So he is an example of what God can do. Amen. And so we truly thankful. I'm truly thankful for my family, yes. And we truly have been blessed. And I want to thank the management for NAS, those that I have worked with over the years. I really appreciate the opportunities that you've given me. I tried to give my best in everything I did. And I'm truly thankful for those of you that have worked with me throughout the years. I worked 8 years with ARO. I worked 15 years with Swerger and 21 years with Jacob. And July the 1st would have been 1 year with NAS. So I've truly been blessed, and I'm thankful for all the friends, all of those that I have interfaced with throughout those years. I'm looking forward to retirement. I've talked to a lot of people that have already been retired, and they say the retirement waters are truly good. So I'm looking forward to diving in on it. And I guess if there's anything I'd say to those of you that are headed toward retirement, one of the things I learned as I lived over my 45 years here is I never really looked forward to retirement. I was raised on a farm. I started working when I was 12 years old. If you know people who live on farms, you don't ever hardly hear them ever to use the word retirement because they work all the time. And so I never just really looked forward to retirement. I always enjoyed working, and that's what I've done all my life. So I'll continue to do things and find things to do. I have a lot of passion for people. I work with the homeless shelter, and one of my life goals was to be able to establish a homeless shelter and to reach out to people that have not been as fortunate as I have, and I still have that passion. So retirement will be good for me to give me time to do some things that I've wanted to do all my life. And I'm looking forward to that. And this book right here that you've given me, I guarantee you it will be used. It will be used. So I have lots of plans for the future. God is not through with me yet. And so I'm ready for whatever work that He has for me. I'm ready for whatever He has for me. And I know that He's going to be there for me. And so I tell all of you, I thank you for everything that you've done. Thank Denise. I really appreciate appreciate you for the effort in putting all this together and everything. And those of you who took your time to come and be a part of this, I will treasure this for the rest of my life. And I truly am thankful to you for coming out and for this opportunity. Thank you very much.